Welcome back to the Ancestral Findings Podcast. In today's episode, we're set to unravel the captivating journey of Lady Aberlin, an accomplished American actress, writer, and poet. While most recognize her as Lady Aberlin from the cherished children's TV show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, her artistic footprint extends far beyond those memorable segments. Lady Aberlin is an American actress best known for her work on the iconic children's television show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Born Betty K. Ageloff on December 30th, 1942 in New York City, the family later changed their surname to Aberlin. Betty was part of a Jewish family. She grew up in the Bronx and attended Queens and Staten Island schools. Later, Betty attended Curtis High School as part of the class of 1959. She then attended Bennington College, where she studied art, modern dance, and literature. Betty loved performing from an early age. Her first public performance was in 1954, before she was even in high school, appearing in a folk opera called Sandhog. After college, Betty moved to Greenwich Village, where she became involved in the burgeoning art scene. She worked as an actress and writer, performing in off-Broadway plays and writing for various publications. During this time, she met Fred Rogers, the creator and host of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Betty first appeared on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in 1966 as a guest on the show. She played Lady Aberlin, the niece of King Friday, in the neighborhood of make-believe segments of the show. Her character was a kind-hearted, gentle woman who often sang songs and helped to teach children important lessons about life. Betty quickly became a fan favorite and was soon invited to become a regular cast member. Over the years, Betty's character, Lady Aberlin, became an integral part of the show. She appeared in numerous episodes and helped teach children about various topics, including emotions, friendship, and self-esteem. Betty's gentle demeanor and warm personality made her a beloved figure among children and adults alike. She was often the only full-sized character in the neighborhood of make-believe and was a level-headed voice to the antics of the puppets who primarily made up the kingdom. She was also a surrogate for the audience, adding needed exposition to the neighborhood of make-believe stories. She was often seen dancing around the kingdom by herself and was sometimes called by her nickname, Lady A. She acted somewhat as a surrogate mom to the puppet character, Daniel Tiger. In addition to her work on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Betty did other acting work. She appeared in various guest appearances on other TV shows over the decades and did a short stint hosting late-night radio. She even wrote and performed an original song called Stop Me Before I Love Again, which was played on ACRE-TV's original show, The 90s. It was a song about becoming older. Another notable role for Betty was her appearance in a play called I'm Getting My Act Together and Taking It on the Road for the New York Shakespeare Festival's Public Theater, which, fittingly, also went on the road with its performances, and Betty went with it. Later in her acting career, Betty developed a friendship with actor and director Kevin Smith and has appeared in several of his movies. These appearances include Dogma, Jersey Girl, Zack, Miri Make a Porno, and Red State. Throughout her acting career, Betty remained committed to using her platform to impact the world positively. She strongly advocated social justice and worked tirelessly to promote peace and understanding. She was also actively involved in various organizations promoting equality and acceptance. Betty was and is a true humanitarian. Despite her success as an actress, Betty always remained true to her New York City arts upbringing. She continued to be involved in the art scene in New York City and was a regular performer at the Café Wa in Greenwich Village. She also worked as a writer and poet, publishing several collections over the years. In 2008, Betty published a collection of poems called The White Page Poems. This book was written as a companion to A Book of Strife in the form of the Diary of an Old Soul, an 1880 collection of poems by George MacDonald. The original edition of MacDonald's book had a blank page opposite each poem, where the inspiration of the title of Betty's book originates. In 2018, Betty retired from acting and returned to her love of writing and poetry. She lives in New York City with her husband, Dr. Penn Lupovich, and has been married since 1967. One piece of Betty's published writing that particularly stands out is her contribution to the literary website Fresh Yarn in 2005. Betty wrote an essay called The Blonding of America for this site. She comments on the privileges in society that a certain physical appearance can provide someone. She mentions a blonde wig that she purchased to cover the first gray hairs she noticed on herself. As a Jewish person, Betty was aware of how the blonde wig erased ethnic features and gave her what she considered to be a more glamorous appearance. She also mentions how this feeling of glamour changed her consciousness when she was wearing the wig. In the essay, Betty says, "I put the wig on, and I don't even notice the homeless anymore." She concludes the essay, "Later that evening, I saw a yellow school bus filled with Hasidim. On the sooty back window of the bus, someone had drawn a swastika. I'll tell you, it certainly feels a little safer being blonde." Today, Betty is active in the art scene, continuing to write and perform her work. Despite her retirement from acting, Betty's legacy as Lady Aberlin on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood continues to live on. Her gentle spirit and kind heart have left an indelible mark on the hearts of countless children and adults who grew up watching the show. Thank you for joining us today on the Ancestral Findings Podcast. For additional resources and exclusive treats, visit ancestralfindings.com. You can grab a complimentary genealogy ebook, benefit from a free genealogy lookup, and even participate in our weekly historical postcard giveaway. It's a treasure trove for every family history enthusiast. Your support by listening to the podcast genuinely means the world to me. If you want to support us in more ways, consider supporting us on Patreon or PayPal. Every contribution aids in delivering valuable content and continuing our free genealogy lookup service. From all of us at Ancestral Findings, thank you for being an integral part of our family history community since 1995. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, happy searching.